Yo, so what's good, y'all? We back with another video, and in this video we will be talking about the New York Knicks, a team that had plenty of expectations and playoff hopes after having a great 2021 campaign in which they had made the playoffs for the first time since 2013, finishing 4th in the Eastern Conference, and in that same offseason added what was seen at the time as key pieces to the roster in Kemba Walker and Evan Fournier. But this past season ended up being a disappointing year because they finished 11th in the Eastern Conference with a 37-45 record, and now it looks like it's time for them to hit the drawing board as they look to see how they can get back on track and try to return back to the playoffs this upcoming season. But the question that remains for the Knicks franchise is, will they lean more into their young core next season? And that young core obviously headlined by Barrett, who's going into his 4th season, but had an impressive second half of his 3rd season. In 2022, from January 1st, 2022, all the way to the end of the year, he averaged nearly 24 points per game, 6 boards, and 3.5 assists, showed flashes of being a star player one day, and is definitely someone to keep an eye on next season around the league. But not only did Barrett show potential, but 2020 draft picks Obi Toppin and Emmanuel Quickley showed major improvement, as Quickley showed he could be a starter in the league when given the time, and Obi Toppin did so as well, closing the year out extremely strong. Not to mention the Knicks have the 11th pick in the draft and can add that player alongside the other nice young quality players the Knicks have, like Quentin Grimes, Cam Reddish, and Jericho Sims, that played quality minutes in the second half of the year and should be key rotation guys heading into next season in my opinion. But another problem that remains with the Knicks is, with head coach Tom Thibodeau returning for another season, will his habits get in the way of the young players progressing? Because we all know he loves to rely on the veterans, and this team still has veterans that are under contract that are still quality players. It's not like guys that are at the end of the bench and don't get playing time. You still got guys like Julius Randle, who even though he had a down year, still is a quality player, not a star, but is still a guy that can give you 19 and 10 every season. Evan Fournier, another guy who they just recently signed last offseason, but he is a quality 3-point shooter. And then you got Derrick Rose, another guy that follows Tibbs everywhere he goes, is a high impact player off the bench. So with those kind of guys on the team, you have to think, does it kind of hurt the Knicks rebuilding process in a way? And does it hurt them in the long term with the way things have been usually going down with Tibbs, and especially his time in New York with the veterans being involved? So we shall see what the front office chooses to do with them this offseason, whether that's trading some of them during the draft or during another period in an offseason, or if majority of them return and we just see a slight minutes decrease from the vets and more of a minutes boost for the younger players. But I think, personally, the best option would be to move on from guys like Alec Burks, Derrick Rose, Julius Randle, and for the Knicks to go for a full youth movement and do the right decisions by replacing these vets with guys that will come off the bench and help the young guys rather than take their shine away. A lot of questions need to be answered for the Knicks, though. It's not just this. It's also, is Tom Thibodeau the right guy? Was the 2021 season a fluke? Is RJ Barrett going to get paid? Is Obi Toppin going to finally get the minutes that he needs to show why he's a quality NBA player? A lot of things need to be answered. And with the Eastern Conference getting better every season, and then you got the usual teams like Milwaukee, Boston, Philadelphia, Miami being around, the Brooklyn Nets obviously will look to bounce back next season as well. Should the Knicks even really try to push for a team that's going to compete now? You have the rumors with Jalen Brunson being potentially involved with the Knicks. That seems like a move that would be them trying to compete now. And to be honest, I don't think it's the right thing to do. I think the Knicks should look forward to the future, build with RJ Barrett for now, unless they hit with this draft pick and whoever they draft becomes like a star, or a different opportunity presents himself, via trade or any of that type of situation. And do I expect the Knicks to be a playoff team next year? To be honest, no, I do not. The talent is solid, but when you look at the other talent across the other teams in the East, I just don't see how they can do it. Can they fight for a play-in spot? A 10 seed or 9 seed? I definitely think so. I think Julius Randle, if he's on the team, should have a bounce back year. I don't think he'll play at 2021 level, but the shooting percentages should go up a little bit at least. And even if he's not on the roster, I think they can compete for a play-in spot because I think Obi Toppin is due for a big year, whether that's off the bench or as a starter. RJ Barrett, I think, will take over as the number one option. That would be nice to see. So I think we'll see more positives than negatives next season for the Knicks, but a lot of questions need to be answered real quick, and the direction still needs to be chosen. Will they pick the young guys over the vets, or will they still be trying to go and play this in-between game with the vets and the young guys trying to coexist? Meanwhile, it just really can't. So we'll see what happens with the Knicks. Really interested to see how it goes down. And hopefully, as a Knicks fan, they have a better season. They can have a successful season next year, even if they have a losing record. All that matters to me, and I think all other Knicks fans around the world, is them making progress as an organization, and with the young players hopefully making some major steps as well. Anyways, that's going to do it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Link will be down in the description below. This has been the Checkup, where we talk hoops and hoops only, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.